Okay. Hello, everyone. We are 5 minutes late, but not to worry. It's all George's fault. But yeah, we play in 1 hour versus Chelsea. Last game, we didn't really do a review because I think it was a straightforward victory. Um, Injured Wolves, I think everyone expected a win, and it was a very comfortable win. They didn't threaten the goal at all. But yeah, we'll get into this Chelsea game. Before we do though, George, Curran, how you guys doing?
Good, mate. Not too bad. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think this was an exciting lineup from a lot of reasons. I don't really worry about Chelsea. I think that there's been a lot of weird narratives about their potential. And I'm just more excited to see what this lineup with Tomiyasu and Partey starting. It's what I wanted to see against Bayern. It's why I think we went out of Europe. And I think for whatever reason, we have to assume that it was fitness related. But I just think that we haven't been able to field a lineup like this for a while. And I think I'm just excited to see what that midfield can do. I think that midfield does things and shows us things that we've missed for quite a while. And of course, it's off the back of 45 minutes for Yuri and Timber for the under 21s where he scores a wonder goal, and so he's not a player that's far off himself. So I just think the irony is in the last 5 games to go, Arsenal could see their best team end the season, something that we haven't seen all season. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see us just continue to march, put pressure on City, get another 3 points in the bag, add 4 points on top of City, and see where we're at the end of this. But obviously, we got to do the business today.
Yeah. Curran?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this midfield. I'm excited to see how we do against this Chelsea midfield because all season long they've been hyping this midfield with Caicedo and Enzo because they've spent how much money on it. So I want to see if we can really dominate that battle, make sure we can secure the middle of the pitch. And the one thing I want to see over literally anything else is whether we access the center of the pitch again, whether Thomas can come in, receive where we need him to receive, drive with the ball, and allow Declan to, mop up those transitions, mop up and do the things that he's good at. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I'm very excited to see how we do against a very inexperienced right side of defense for them with what Disasi and what I'm going to call the skinhead version of Cobham in Alfie Gilchrist. That guy is people keep calling this guy John Terry. I don't know what the hell these Chelsea fans have got up their sleeve with that one, but it's very young, very inexperienced. And I was talking to Chris off stream about what you do about that right side of the defense. And I want to ask both of you guys before you get into it. Do we think that there's a way that they could have structured it so they have better balance on that right hand side? Because that side just doesn't seem very it seems very gettable. I think there's ways you can really make sure that you can secure that right hand side. And I was saying to Chris earlier about Caicedo maybe going to right back again like he did at Brighton and moving into this middle of the pitch. And because putting Gilchrist out like that is a bit of I don't know. It feels like we're going to see one of those Saka right-hand side crosses to the left where we have a back post attack and, a tap in because they're just not that secure on that right-hand side.
Well, I think with Chelsea, obviously, they've got injuries, Palmer and Gusto. Apart from they're the recent ones, apart from all the other ones like Colwell and Reece James and Konku, like they've got their injuries. But I thought Chalobah would start. I was pretty shocked that he didn't start. I thought he'd actually start right back maybe, and Thiago Silva would start centre back, but neither of that happened. I think I was hoping for Disasi right back, but just hoping that Disasi starts anyways because I think when he's prone to mistakes, he's
going to give you a goal regardless.
Yeah, he's going to give you something. For me, the main thing why I was a bit pessimistic before I saw the lineup was Jorginho, because I can't not forget what he did last time we faced Chelsea and just the spaces he left for a guy like Gallagher. If you're gonna give up gaps on the ball and give up someone that's not going to run off the ball, then Gallagher's probably one of the worst midfielders in the Prem to face in a game with Jorginho. So I was happy we finally see Partey right again. I don't remember the last time we saw it. Have we seen it since the Community Shield? I'm not even too sure that we have seen it since the
No.
Community Shield.
Nottingham,
Yeah.
wasn't he? He was right back.
No,
Well,
no, in midfield.
Not
In
yet.
midfield, I don't think so.
Midfield, no.
No.
Yeah, so we haven't seen it since. So I'm very happy to see it. It does change my prediction. It does change how confident I am for the game. I think our attackers probably should be a bit further forward. Saka,
I
hopefully,
think
he's
our
not.
press will be a lot further. There's a lot of debate recently because everyone tries to talk about the split center backs, but it kind of annoys me because we've seen that from the start of the season as well. This isn't a new tactic that teams suddenly have started to employ against us. It's that the reason our press has been able to change is because we don't have somebody that can back up Declan Rice in the midfield. Without Timber and Thomas Partey, you don't have another vertical defensive second ball person to back up the press, so you can't push the fullbacks as high. The whole reason that we've kept them narrow and deep is because we don't have enough people behind to really commit to that press. You've only got Declan, and then you're going to leave Jorginho alone if you do that. So we've had to adapt to that. But it's not as though this team struggles with a split center back formation. It's probably been my biggest critique that, I don't know, I'm seeing online that I really disagree with, because people just saying just put Saka a little bit higher, but that's always been the plan. When Mikel has been able to do it, our fullbacks have never been narrow and deep. They've always been pressing high and wide. And so that for me is going to be the biggest benefit of this midfield. And I've always said the reason that I want Thomas Partey is that despite him looking not sharp on the ball, the off the ball implication of what he does to Declan Rice is why he has to start. And, I think, or at least I hope, I know that these next 5 games, not only do I hope that Thomas Partey is fit, but I know that he will show people a way for the future. Because right now I'm still seeing these considerations with a Jorginho 2.0 idea, just because the most linked central midfielder is Zubimendi. People are assuming that's the only way to do it. Meanwhile, our entire pressing schemes rely on having multiple vertical shuttlers. And I think, the only idea that you could understand a deep lying playmaker is if you've got a fully fit Urian Timber, and he offers the balance in that box midfield. It doesn't have to be a Thomas Partey or another midfielder, but you do need somebody that is going to be proficient in second balls. You can't have a box midfield that has 3 people that aren't competent in second ball, or at least dominant in second balls. Declan Rice is great. He is a unicorn. He's not somebody that, is going to solve that problem. You need to have 2 players that are competent in it, in that box midfield, whether you want it to be a diamond or a flat box, but that needs to be a constant. And the fact is, we just haven't had that in the last month. So people critiquing it against Bayern, against Porto, name the midfield that you saw there. And you didn't even have somebody like Tomiyasu that could at least emulate something that Urian Timber gives you. So I'm excited to see that. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, that's been a big commentary of late, that Arsenal struggle with it. I don't know if it's fair. I don't know what you guys think on it.
I think with the split centre back thing, it's just our press has been a bit disjointed. Rice has to cover space for Jorginho, really. If someone doesn't really have the legs to step up as much, or isn't willing to take the risk because he's scared of what would happen in transition, then you can't press as well as we could with a Partey or a Smith Rowe or Havertz. Even when Havertz was in midfield, our press was better than it was with Jorginho. I think the players have also been tired, or been more tired. I think West Wolves, we didn't see it as much. Even Bayern, we didn't see the drop off second half, really. I think when you took away the threat of an outlet 1v1 with our left back, the fatigue really decreased. Like, you didn't really have to chase anyone in transition. So versus Wolves, I think we were pretty fine. They didn't really build up past us. I think their chances, even the little chances they had, came from little mistakes or like set pieces and whatever. I think with Chelsea, their build up isn't even good enough for me to worry that they're going to make up, like, our press is going to be like negative against Chelsea. Cucurella is not good on the ball. Despite Chelsea's great performance versus City, the chances City got in the first half came from Cucurella mistakes. So I'm not really worried that our press is going to be an issue versus Chelsea. I do think we'll generate chances, but Chelsea do have not great. They've got pace on the counter. They don't have clinical edge, but Jackson has been in great form outside of the box. I think versus City, versus Everton, he generated some good chances into the box, but obviously
Almost
they
like a
didn't finish.
transition channel runner at 9 is the new craze in world
So
football.
do
Okay?
you worry? Do you guys worry about Jackson versus
No.
Saliba or Gabriel in space, or Modric versus White in space? Do you worry that the transitions will be an
No,
issue?
I mean the main thing with those guys is I think the central transition threat isn't going to be as big as it was against someone like City at the weekend, where Jackson was kind of running at them with trying to get on the last line and try to run beyond, or they're trying to get the ball through the lines and quickly get it to him. We have the pace and the line. We are very well marshaled in our line to basically stop them from in the middle. It's the one thing I do worry about is out wide. Will those 1v1 duels out wide, we have to make sure that we shut them down. If we can shut down their left hand side, and I think we can, because Mudryk and Cucurella, the synergy between them two isn't very good. So I do think we can, shut down them in wide areas as well on the left. I mean, in terms of Gilchrist and who's that right wing for them? I can't remember.
Madueke.
Yeah. So I just don't think. I mean, Madueke is good, but I just don't think that he'll have the overlap to get inside that he'll like. I don't think he has the ability to take on 1v1 like a Sane would, or someone like that who we've seen really get at our backline. And plus with Tomiyasu, I don't think will be more secure in that backline. So if I was to name a threat, I would say probably if they could get it into the wide channel on their left, on our right, and maybe getting behind when Ben's overlapping, that's maybe a threat. But I think with Saliba's recovery pace and Gabriel covering him as well, I don't think that's big of a problem as I think it could be. And plus with Partey back as well, that added sort of muscle in the middle as well will help us a lot.
Okay. What do you think of this, George?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common for me. I mean, he will play if he's fit. The whole idea, the only reason he doesn't play is because he hasn't been fit, and without injuries, and he's still a player that contributes a lot. And I think he changes the way that we view the midfield. And fundamentally speaking, I can't see a scenario, to be honest with you, that we extend his contract given everything. But I very much see a situation that he stays with Arsenal beyond the summer. And, it's probably not something that a lot of people want to hear, but I think that, these next 5 games, I wonder if the narrative changes. I think it was too early for Bayern, but I'm willing to bet whatever money you want to bet that, him in that team means we progress into Europe. And then in terms of what we're able to do, kind of moving forward, if we end up doing something special in terms of winning the league title, in terms of him playing the last 5 games and the impact that has in terms of Declan Rice and everybody feeling and looking a lot sharper, and we end the season in top form, people are recency bias merchants. They will, I expect the tide to change. And while you don't want to rely on him because we know what kind of availability he has, to doubt the quality or to at least dismiss it outright, I think is crazy to me. And it's a much bigger replacement than people want to admit when they do it. So I think if you're going to be sure about something like that, then you almost are banking on the idea that Yuri and Timber will for sure remain fit, because I maintain that balance in the midfield has to be achieved. It doesn't have to come through Thomas Partey, but it has to come through finding somebody that's able to get across the pitch, both vertically and horizontally as well. So, I mean, Timber offers that. He offers that flexibility. There's other people in the market that you can buy to get you that flexibility. But fundamentally, I think that there's going to be a lot of narrative change. And it helps when you're facing big teams. I think the idea that we're facing Chelsea, United, Spurs, even though it's only 5 games of a season, I think he's not only starting today, does he have a strong performance, but I think he ends the season strong. And there's going to be questions. There's going to be questions that he's going to force.
Yeah, for me, I can't wait to see it, because I haven't seen it really in
I haven't seen it all
months.
season.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I need to see what it really looks like, because the idea has probably like gone to the back of my mind. Like I can't really even envisage what it really looks like on a consistent basis. So for the next 5 games, we probably do see it in what, minimum 3 out of 5, probably 5 out of 5. So hopefully he is fit and ready. Same as Tomiyasu. That little, like, I don't know what he had in training, but hopefully he's fit for the rest of the season as well, because I'm not sure I want to see a Zinchenko-Jorginho partnership again, really. But that being said, what are you guys' predictions? I know the lineups changed people's predictions, changed people's thoughts on what the game will be. So what's
Definitely.
your prediction?
I think, oddly, I actually think this would have been better at Stamford Bridge as a team, just because I think that this Arsenal team are so emotional that they actually struggle to control transitions a little bit more at home than they do away. But I still expect a clean sheet. I think that no Gusto and no Palmer is just a really difficult pill to swallow for a Chelsea team that lack any inspiration and lack any threat. I mean, Palmer's not just their goal scoring out; he's also their outlet in terms of a possession. And Gusto himself actually has been a top player in terms of nullifying 1v1. I think he's a really good right back. Actually, I think that's one of the few purchases that Chelsea have made that is a really good player. So it's too much to handle. I think I'm going to go 3-0. I think we'll score a similar amount of goals. I don't see it being a complete blowout, only because I don't see my Martinelli pick. I still think that had I seen that, I probably would have gone a little bit more. But the fact that we have those absentees guaranteed makes me think clean sheet is not just possible, but probable.
And Karen?
I'm going 3-0. I do think we'll win this game quite comfortably. I don't like being overly cocky for this one, because there is obviously a threat there, as mentioned previously. But look, I just think that if we're going to go into this game and with that team, I think that team's much better balanced than it has been this season, and we've seen how we've been performing this season. So, yeah, I'm quietly confident. I do think we'll do well. We have to just restrict moments. That's the main thing. If we can restrict moments, then they're not going to be able to do much, because I think in terms of sustaining pressure, this lineup's one of the best we have in terms of being able to press, counter press, and really make sure that we can pen them in. We just have to make sure that we can restrict their moments. And if we can do that, this is a pretty straightforward game for me.
Yeah, I don't want to go 3-0 as well, so I'm going to go...
Give us a 4.
I was going to go 4-0, but I don't think we've ever beat them 4-0 in the Prem. So 4-1. I'll go 4-1. I don't even... No, 4-0. I don't even think they score. Interested to see the transitions, but yeah, I think Gilchrist Disasi versus Trossard, who doesn't really stay touchline wide, will be good to see. Neither of them really know when to go, when to sit, And then Saka, I think, an assist for Trossard back post or just across the box.
Saka for me is a player I definitely want to end on, and I want to get your guys' thoughts. He's got a lot of crap in the last couple of weeks, and I just think he's been bubbling, and I don't know why. I mean, he was absolutely, for me, one of the best players against Wolves. He was tearing that side apart. I think versus Bayern, we just didn't give him the ball, but every time he had anything to do, he was very, very dangerous, and I just think that he's been quietly. People say that he's injured. I don't agree. I just think that, he's going to have a big performance, and I think he's due one. I think he's been bubbling for quite a while. And this Chelsea team, part of the problem is they're so poor in their defensive distances that anytime that you've got a team that's able to do that and you give that space, Saka exploits it. I mean, even against Wolves, which, by the way, they actually have they leave space in midfield, but they actually have a very good defensive block in terms of their distances and their discipline, by the way, with that. So even then, they were able to get brilliant space. So I just think Bukayo is going to have a really top game today.
Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. 4-0, 3-0, 3-0. Hopefully it's not like what happens to me every time I predict 4-0 and we score 5. Yeah, so hopefully we just stay at 4. It's a good day at the park and we go 4 points clear. and keep the goal difference above. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will be back soon for the review. Hopefully, we're reviewing a win, and yeah, hopefully I'm right. See you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.